Hey, this is Rocket Brain Surgeon, and I'm like, oh yeah, baby! We got a national battle, nothing but IS-7s against nothing but autoloaders. This is going to be awesome. I am super excited. This is my third national battle on the test server so far, and I am pumped! This is going to be great. Oh, there's a couple IS-4s in there. Who cares? I am just amped up. So, I think we're all just going to go city and just annihilate them. I'm just going to tag along with where the group is going to go and just crush people. I'm just hanging back, taking a look around. Oh god. Yes, people, let's split up. I like my chances a little bit better in the city, simply because I don't want to deal with arty. I mean, seriously, we're French tanks. Yo, get in the city. I don't want to deal with arty, and I don't... I want the buildings to hide behind. We got arty's going TD mode. I mean, the play on the test server is just so horrific at times. I can't even fathom it. Wow, and they're just YOLOing into us. Okay. They're gonna keep coming. Yeah, so I'm not really sure if this is going to be the best way to evaluate this game mode. But interestingly enough, a lot of us are clipping, and this 50B, I'm going to kill him myself in a moment. A lot of us are clipping, and the Russians obviously can just continue firing like normal. So I'm really not sure how this is going to work. It's 1-to-1, and I'm going to move up a little bit because I can YOLO this guy out. I'm not quite sure what they're doing. And I've kind of blown my load there and not done a whole hell of a lot. I'm kind of interested in what they're doing. Well, they're not really thinking. Who knows? But I expect this battle... I expected it to go very differently. I thought it was going to be just a one-way beating, either in favor or against us. It looks like the Foches are going to push. And we're going to take this minute to reload. Good God, really? Okay, so that's their last stand right there. I'm going to go sneak up behind them. Ah! This is more of what I expected of. All of a sudden it just goes downhill from that for them really fast. The IS-7 is a very low DPM tank. And they're not even looking this way. Looking this way now. Let my 50B fire. And I don't really have a shot there. But yeah, that was an interesting battle. I would really like to see how it plays out on the North American server. The outcome was what I expected, and I guess this battle went roughly as expected, where all of a sudden everything just collapsed for them. But I expected it to happen on the first volley. I think the Russian team could have gotten an advantage after we burned our first clip in the city. Just brawl it up, yo. But yeah, interesting stuff. Hope you enjoyed. Happy hunting. Alright, that last one I recorded live just because I was super excited. I wanted to see how it worked. And it was a fun game, and I'm really intrigued to play them on the American server. So this one, I'm in the E4. We have the US versus Russia, and it looks like a Clan Wars lineup on our side. T-57 heavies, E3s, E4s, versus a smattering of heavy tanks, TDs, and a bunch of mediums. My first thought on this is that we just kind of have a big firepower advantage. The Russian heavies are low DPM and they have okay alpha, but nothing compared to what we got. Half of our team can throw down 700 damage at any time, or in the case of the T-57s, 1600 damage in a couple seconds. So I don't really know how the engagements are going to look for them. Regarding my actual play, this is the first time I was playing the E4, so I'm going to look like a teenage boy fumbling to unhook a bra. I mean, just, yeah, super awkward. But the game itself, this game is actually relatively unimpressive, in my opinion, so I won't show too terribly much of it. It doesn't quite show, I think, how the engagements look, and a lot of that is due to me not being very good with the E4. I wish I was in my 57 Heavy or something. We have a couple people, and then this is the test server as well. The test server, the play can be described, and this is being generous, as very up and down. That's one way to describe it. So there's a dude who has come to flank, and I'm going to intercept him and obviously ding a shot off his track. I'm backing up more so. I know that face-hugging him one-on-one is the right thing to do, but I don't want to block shots from my team, so that's why I was backing up there. And then I'm going to go down that alley where he came up and try and see if I can flush more of them out. In the game, it looks like we are winning. Go Alpha. Huge, huge Alpha seems to be winning, and that is the theme in all three of these games. So the first one, all of the autoloaders, we won against the Russians. In this one, we have an overwhelming Alpha advantage, and we do end up winning this one fairly handily. And in the next game, it's the US versus the UK, and the UK team is made up of 13 183s and 2 Conquerors. I mean, just a crazy amount of alpha. And in that game, we ended up losing, though it was very close. My first thought with this game mode is that it has some pretty weird compositions, and there's going to be some times where some flaws are readily apparent. And that's kind of what it makes it exciting. I understand that, but it also can be no fun if you're stuck on a team with a ton of Russian heavies and no real view range, and you're on Malinovka or something. That could just be horrible. So this game is quickly getting out of hand for them. We're going to actually skip to the next game. Alright, the map is Swamp. We have a bunch of T-57 heavies and E3s against, look at that. Oh my god, that's a lot of 183s. That's ridiculous. We're going to fast forward in the action just a little bit, as it seems the Russian and EU players play this map differently than we do, or it's just one of those quirks of test where people are being a little bit weird. When I first logged into this game, I thought it was going to be super exciting. There's a bunch of 183s and a bunch of T-57s. I thought we were just going to slug it out, but I forgot the past 6 months of the metagame of huge alpha causing a lot of camping. So we're almost 5 minutes in. Not too terribly much has happened, and it's not exciting gameplay. It's not exciting gameplay because we're advancing. All of a sudden somebody gets exploded out of nowhere. Cool. Awesome. We counter fire when they're lit. We advance again. Somebody gets exploded out of nowhere. So it's pretty terrible gameplay. This is what I think is so bad about the huge alpha metagame. That's slightly off topic, but slightly not, because when you look at our side with the T-57s, the E3s, and E4s, that's going to happen in a lot of games. And it sucks. It just sucks. So this is the most uninspiring game that I can think of, when on paper I thought it would be exciting. So that's not great. It's early. I've only played a couple of these, and it's on the test server, so I can't really say definitively one way or the other what the future is going to look like. I have a lot of hope for the game mode. I got a lot of enjoyment out of the first game. I'm going to be playing my French tanks a lot, trying to get into these battles or more of them. I'm going to play my U.S. tanks a lot for the same reason, to get into these battles. I think they'll be very exciting. But I think it might be a little bit weird in how some of the compositions come out. Sometimes you might get some pretty unbalanced compositions for your map, and you might get some gameplay like this where it's not a lot of fun. Overall, I hold out hope, and I'm going to keep plugging it out and releasing some things on this as we figure it out. Hope you enjoyed. Happy hunting.